Hi, listeners. Welcome to your daily cup of coffee with Charu, where hopefully, with a hot cup of coffee, we discuss how to tackle the day ahead of us based on the astrological aspects that are playing out right now. Whether you're listening to this during your day or your evening, we're trying to make sense of our everyday life through astrological hints that universe is dropping on us. We would also cover 𝐻𝐸𝐻 moon today, which is moon aspected by Pluto. Many of you might have that in your natal chart, and this is also very much truly felt by Scorpio moon. So stick around if you have those or just to learn what's happening right now in the sky. My name is Charu and I am your host on this journey. So let's dig in. Mercury today in water sign of Pisces is clashing with the air sign Mars. Mars is in Gemini right now, Mercury is in Pisces. These two elements, they don't jive with each other, they clash with each other, and today and tomorrow we'll witness that clash. And this clash will be very much playing out within our psyche, Mars within us, our action. We want to go to the next thing, talk, jump, walk, frolic around, while our mind is swimming in some deep waters, maybe some past matters which are being contemplated in our mind. We might be thinking very deeply about things like meaning of life, why am I involved in this, and much more psychological matters. We might feel rushed in doing things. We might say things that we haven't thought through yet. We might run into disagreements in this nervous energy. But this can very easily be constructively used. If you're feeling a little bit of down and out, act on the stuff. Action will pull you out of a mindset which is self-defeating. Sometimes it will get your mind out of the bed or wherever it is lying dormant right now. Similarly, if you find yourself going about from one mundane task to another, take a deep breath, close your eyes, try to remember, or better note down what's the end goal that you're trying to achieve. Why are you doing what you're doing? How does it fill you or not? Then use that to sort through the list of your tasks and prune it down. Hobbies and creative projects can get the much needed kick of soulfulness today. Don't make life decisions today. We might be too much in a hurry and there might be too many things that are evolving. Talking of evolving, moon is being aspected by Pluto today. But it sort of needs its own space for me to discuss, so I'm going to discuss that now. Every time moon comes in Cancer since about 2008, Pluto opposes it. It strips another layer of protection or armor we wear around us. We feel we are protecting ourselves, but in all reality, we are hiding for something which is real. We are hiding from something which is truthful about us. And the black moon wouldn't have any of it. 𝐻𝐸𝐻 moon, it's called, moon aspected by Pluto, and many of us, like myself, have it on our natal chart and we experience it over our lifetime. But as a transit, it's an intense day. It's an eternal saga of birth, death, and rebirth of our emotional patterns, which would show up as not so upbeat mood swing today, tomorrow. Issue of loss, rejection, abandonment, they could wake up and not originating from today. There is a compulsive pull back to the past which happens, and people who have 𝐻𝐸𝐻 moon in their natal chart, which is moon aspected by Pluto or Scorpio moon, would know this because they lived their life in it. Unresolved parental and emotional issues, frustrations, resentment of the past, sometimes going back to generations. Essentially, negative lunar energies we grew up with, they get woken up when the 𝐻𝐸𝐻 moon is evoked. It would normally be evoked by another person. We would project it on another person. It's a form of emotional catharsis which requires another party involved, or external stimulus is required to wake up the 𝐻𝐸𝐻 moon. We could feel manipulated by another. Topic of control can come up in personal relationships, or past abuse of control can come up to be dealt with. Just remember, whenever reaction during this transit is coming up, we are experiencing that reaction evoked by an internal turmoil that we are undergoing. The external conflict is just a projection of what's going on within. And that's the toughest to accept in 𝐻𝐸𝐻 moon, that the responsibility always sits within us. Pluto regenerates and renews our moon our emotional core after the first contact of our people. And that happens once a month every time Moon Pluto opposition is happening right now. And as I said, if you have this in your natal chart, you undergo this evocation many times during your lifetime. Remember to open yourself up to that experience of healing after all has been bare stripped open. Healing is in recognizing that an ending or a loss has happened and that is in the past, recognizing your own needs which were not met in the past, especially in childhood. Childhood patterns are one of the key things that comes up when Moon Pluto opposition is experienced. Healing is in dealing with or facing the irrational fear that is within us, that seems to be eating us or seems to not let us move forward. Healing isn't stepping out of an overwhelming need to preserve or at all cost the security of what's known and familiar. Healing is in accepting our own dark side and channeling it in healing or in intensity in work. Healing is in accessing the knowledge that you are being prompted to access. Healing is in confronting the them or the they whose judgment and control you are still concerned with, but those people do not exist in reality in your real life anymore. Healing is in giving a touch of reality to the fears that are much bigger in our own mind. Healing is in releasing the deep fears of past isolation, alienation, and rejection as they are actively playing out in our current relationships in form of fear of abandonment, dominating any connection. We tend to project these childhood or in our developmental years, if we have faced any of those fears of isolation, of alienation, of rejection, on our current adult relationships. And they dominate any of the connections. And Moon Pluto tries to drain them, or at best tries to highlight or bring them to light so we can see them and release them by freely giving love to those who themselves have been abandoned, isolated, or rejected. Healing is in making space for something new. Each time this contact is made since 2008, a very small part of our inner self is transformed. Our emotional pattern is changed. One protected layer is stripped off. The karma we attach with our family, especially mother, is released. The ground we stand on is made firmer. A dark side of ourselves is faced and accepted. And from that, we emerge stronger and with more insights about what we truly are made of, with capacity to channel the unconscious in constructive ways. Hades Moon comes with a lot of karma to deal with, but also a lot of power to be released. And we are normally unaware of it till it's poked like a wound. This near death aspect of those living with it releases them to live without making any excuse for the intensity. Hades Moon is known for its intensity, and over many, many years, we are sometimes made to attach some sort of fear or even feeling ashamed of our intensity that Hades Moon brings. Over time, as we heal it, we become comfortable with our own intensity and we see that as our inner power. Remember, if you have Hades Moon in your natal chart, it's a family karma which you have come down with, which you are dealing with, which you have the gift to channel in a very productive fashion. But it's also a family karma which your child or your future generations would have it. So it's on us to heal that and channel that in a productive way so our future generation can also be healed. So our future karma is also constructive. The collective effect of Hades Moon or Pluto is very much felt because it's a outer planet. So outer planet affects the collective very much, and we are seeing that play out right now. Being the underworld lord, It brings out the collective dysfunction to surface to heal and regenerate from. We are right now in the Pluto in Capricorn cycle, which initiated in 2008 and it will conclude in 2024 or 23. Per esoteric astrology, Capricorn marks the ascent into spiritual consciousness, the sign of initiation of a new way of existence. And we are coming full circle in the Pluto cycle, which initiated with Pluto in Cancer in 1914 when the First World War happened. Opposition to what happened when Pluto descended into Cancer in 1914, the period marked by the world at war, is what we are supposed to experience. The pattern that got us there, the pattern that got us to that world at war, to the First World War, those are being exhibited, healed, and moved forward from. The pattern that got us there needs to be opposed, needs to be risen above from. Technically, with this cycle of Pluto in 2023-2024, the conclusion of the Pluto in Capricorn, we would have come full circle. And that's one of the consideration why people called it the end of the world. But this is where a new world emerges as well. A new mutation, a new resurrection of mankind is expected. And we are very much in the process to it. And every month when Moon and Pluto oppose each other and we experience Hades Moon, collectively human patterns that got in the past to 1914 to the world at war, they are encountered and dealt with. So we'll feel that in the collective as well. That was the podcast for today, and I'll see you tomorrow again. Thank you.